Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, people. How are we doing? Liverpool, Manchester United, the top four race is on. It is the worst top four race in the history of the Premier League. It is the worst Premier League in a long, long time. The lack of quality in this league is staggering, people. I watched Man United versus Everton last night. I mean, Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest was terrible. But Man United versus Everton was worse. It really was. The goal was decent, it was. But the lack of quality in this Premier League is shocking. The fact that Liverpool are struggling to get top four just shows you how bad we are. But we are still in the race for top four. We really are. But big news today, people. Antony Gordon. Let me get this up for you. Let me get this up here. Antony Gordon. Liverpool are ready to offer 90 million for Newcastle's Antony Gordon, according to reports. What reports these are, I don't know. The Reds have made signing Gordon, who is a boyhood Liverpool fan, their top target. People, I do not want this man to play for Liverpool. He is not good enough. It's that simple. He's not a good footballer. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, is he better than Cody Gakpo? Debatable. But no, not for me. 90 million for an average Premier League player. No, thank you very much. Liverpool chat is in the chat. He agrees. Antony Gordon, no, 1000% no. I hate that guy. Hate that guy. No, I don't get it, people. Look, Liverpool do need signings, but it's not Antony Gordon. Let's be honest with it. Now, come on. It's definitely not Antony Gordon. So, it's not for me, in my opinion. Aaron is in the chat. Rio has got to start, hasn't he? Surely. And Mo grinning when he got subbed off really pissed me off. Gordon has been a shithouse against us, purposely trying to injure our guys. Rio has to play, people. He has to play. All joking aside, he has to play. Arne Slot has to start playing him now. I'm not saying Rio has to play every single game. I think Jamie Carragher said the same. But he has to start playing. Because you could see the difference he made against Forest. I mean, Hugo Ekitike his form lately is not great. But we should be talking about one of the best assists this season. Because he should be scoring. And then it would have been all about Rio, even more than it is. He came off the bench and he was the only player on that pitch who was not afraid to take on a defender, to beat a defender. And for that chance for Hugo, Joe Gomez made a run. And Joe Gomez was a little bit upset that he didn't pass it to him. But Rio took the defender on and he put in a brilliant cross. And as I say, Hugo should score. But this man, for someone so young, he plays with no fear. That's what Liverpool need. Cody Gakpo, we know what he's doing. He's a one-trick pony. He cuts back in. Mo Salah, look, he's not the player he was. Okay, I feel sorry for him. He's not. But Rio Ngamoa, people, just play him. I mean, he's the type of player he'll terrify defenders. Christina's in the chat. About Antony Gordon, no way, I don't like him. He's an arrogant man, not good enough for Liverpool. Yeah, look, I mean, look, the arrogance and all of that, a lot of Liverpool fans don't like him. But for me, it's just down to ability. I don't think he's good enough for Liverpool. I really don't. Dermot is in the chat. He says, Gakpo is too predictable. Ekitike needs to improve his heading ability too. Very, very poor in the air. He's had a great season for us, no doubt about it. But he's very, very poor in the air. He needs to improve. He's not playing well at the moment. But I mean, the team is not playing well. So, he's probably been one of our best players. Soboslai's been our best player. But, no, I mean, if we had a drop points the other day, honesty, people, that chance he had, he has to score. He has to score. He really does. I can't believe our fans were happy with that goal of McAllister after the kind of football Slot had us play against a relegation side. Worse than Roy Hodgson football, and I'm not joking. Those were tough days, people. Really tough days. I mean, look, it's not going to change, people. You know, we play West Ham on Saturday. I'll be doing a watch along for that as well. We know exactly what kind of performance it's going to be. It's going to be slow. It's going to be boring to watch. It's going to be a tough game. Probably no shots on target in the first half. He's relying on moments, the manager. He's relying on moments. I still don't know what he's trying to do. I don't know what he wants this team to do. I keep saying I want him to turn it around because I want Liverpool to win. But we're so far into the season now that you just don't see a change. And this is the problem with it. And it was the same against Nottingham Forest. I mean, we went into that game, we didn't have a shot on target. And that's not the first time that's happened this season. There was no control. The first half was embarrassing, it really was. To me, it was worrying because we should have been 3-0 down at halftime. You know, we definitely rode our luck in that game. And we are very fortunate. I've said this so many times. We're very, very fortunate that this Premier League is woeful, people. It is woeful. Manchester United are in fourth position. Watched them last night against Everton. Everton are terrible. They are embarrassingly bad, especially at home. Man United were worse. I mean, we were lucky to get a win, so were they. Their goal was good, to be fair to them. But this is by far one of the worst Premier Leagues I can remember. It really is. Martin's in the chat. He says, no way we want Antony Gordon. Yeah, I mean, it was a surprising story. 90 million for him. Come on now, people. You know, the one thing I want Liverpool to do as well this summer, if they're going to spend a lot of money, don't be spending it on two players. You know, spend it on the squad. The money we spent last summer, even if we were to spend half of that money this summer, spend it on about 7 players. Get the squad. Look at that bench the other day. You know, if you look at the 450 million we spent last summer, we brought in about 6 players. And you could argue that they're all starting players. But there's nobody on the bench. So for me, this summer, yes, we need 1 or 2 more for the starting 11, but it has to be all about the squad. Add quality to that bench. Because it's so poor. It really is. But no, for me, Antony Gordon at 90 million, to me that would be a waste of money. If Liverpool were to buy him, you're talking 30 million. And he's a squad player. 30 million. And if you could get him for 30 million, I'd still say, no, not for me. But that would be it. If you could get him for 30 million, okay, maybe. But 90 million? Come on, people. Let's be serious here. What's the point of fighting for top 4 if this is the kind of football we are going to play next season? We better fancy our chances in Europa League at least. Even a worse Spurs side won it last season. That's what I'm saying, people. Europe is absolutely, it's finished. It's finished. Oh, what's going on in the Champions League tonight? Let me get up here. When is the draw for Liverpool's last 16? Would it be Friday? Atletico Madrid are 4-1 up. It was 1-1 at one stage. You know, we could get Atletico Madrid. Newcastle are 2-0 up at. Yeah. I mean, we could have got Club Brugge. I have a feeling we're going to get Atletico Madrid. It'll be tough for us because we're not playing well anyway. Aaron says, yesterday showed the team is being built around Wirtz, in my opinion. I love Maka, but honestly, I'd sell him. I mean, he's not playing well at all. Yeah, look, I mean, I read yesterday, was it, that Wirtz should be okay for West Ham. But yeah, I mean, Curtis Jones came on. The amount of times he lost the ball was shocking. He really struggled. Make sure you hit the like button, everybody. Martin says I'd rather Atletico than Bodo Glimt. Really? Over 2 legs, though. No, I prefer Bodo Glimt. 100%. Then we'll get Arsenal in the quarterfinals. No, we'll get Man City in the quarterfinals. We'll get Arsenal in the semi-finals. And we'll beat them all, people. We're going to win the Champions League. Eliza John says Ekatike's form has dropped dramatically. Yeah, he's not playing well at the moment. He really isn't. But I mean, he's been one of our best players all season. So he's allowed to have a bit of a dip in form. But you can just see the one of the most things that's really worrying me about this season is the lack of creativity. I know Wirtz wasn't playing, but I mean, people, come on, we did not create anything in that first half. Curtis Jones probably should have scored at the start of the second half. When was it? About maybe 55 minutes or whatever it was. Then we didn't create anything until injury time. It's really worrying for me now. It's just so sideways, boring. Aaron says, thing is, Slot, in my opinion, has earned a transition season. After Klopp won the league, we were terrible. I have faith, but I hate Slot's man management. Yeah, look, Aaron, I have to agree. Look, I mean, if he gets Champions League football, he's not going to be sacked. And we'll have to see what happens at the start of next season. Because I just don't think he's a bad manager. He won the league last season. I get it. It's Jurgen Klopp's squad. I get that. I'm not disputing that. But it's still, there has to be something about you to win the league. There has to be. So I'm just hoping that maybe this season is just, it is a transition season. Players are finding their way. We'll just see what happens next season, because if we miss out on top 4, I do think the club will get rid of him. But if he makes the Champions League, he will be there next season, and we'll have to see what happens then in the summer and everything, and we go again. But unfortunately, if he plays the same way, it's the same style, he will lose the fans. It's all about results. Our fans are pissed off with the boring football. But this is the thing as well, though, people. I get it. Absolutely. I mean, we know exactly what's going to happen against West Ham. It's going to be boring. It's going to be a struggle. We probably won't have a shot on target in the first half again. But that's the way football is now. You look at the state of that Premier League. Every single game is woeful. Even Arsenal are going to win the league probably. Every game is terrible. Man City are not that good this season. You look at the state of Europe. You know, does Xavi Alonso play unbelievable attacking football? I don't think so. Jurgen Klopp is gone, people. That style of football is gone. I'm not saying it needs to be this boring. I'm not saying that at all. But the days of this heavy metal football, end-to-end, exciting, edge-of-the-seat stuff, honestly, I think managers nowadays, they're just so concerned about losing games because they know they lose 5-6 games, they're probably going to get sacked. I mean, they're just so focused on getting a result that they're not saying to their players, just go out and play. Just go out and play. And I just think football is in a bad way at the moment. I really do. Like, there's not one good game on at the moment. I watched Newcastle and Man City the other day. People, it was terrible. The quality in it was so poor. And then you watch Arsenal versus Spurs, you're thinking, here we go. Spurs have a chance to stop Arsenal winning the league. To be fair to Arsenal, by far the better team, deserved to win the game. But it wasn't even exciting. It wasn't a great game to watch. And then Liverpool, Nottingham Forest. I mean, that was embarrassingly bad. You know, I can't remember the last time I sat down and watched a big game that was promoted as a big game and really enjoyed it. End to end. You know, it's just football, in my opinion, at the moment is terrible. Aaron says Slot is also struggling a lot with injuries and a lack of depth. It was outlined Slot is a coach, not a manager. So I think Hughes deserves a lot of criticism than Slot is getting. This summer, Aaron, it'll be this summer. If they can improve the squad And as you say, he has had injuries. But look, I still want him to get it right. I want him to turn it around because he won us the league last season. He did. So I'm hoping that he can finish the season strong, get into the top four, maybe win a trophy, and we'll see what the summer brings and we'll see what next season brings. Because, unfortunately, look, if it continues with these performances, the problem that Liverpool have, you can't keep playing like this and getting away with it. We've been getting away with it recently. We didn't get away with it against Man City, but we've been getting away with it. We have not been playing well. We should have been at least 2-0 down at half time against Forest. We got away with it. We were lucky. You need a bit of luck at times, of course, but we're not going to keep getting away with it. The performances have to improve. The performances improve with the talent that we have. The results will improve. It's that simple. So it is up to Arne Slot. Arne Slot is the head coach. He is the one that works with these players every single day. Let's improve it. So it's up to him. Yeah, it's a good point from Jay. Slot needs to trust the squad at the same time. Yeah, 100%. Look, he's not... people talk about injuries and new players and everything. Arne Slot needs to take a huge chunk of the blame for what's been going on this season, of course. But the fact that he keeps playing the same players when it's not working, everybody can see it's not working. Szoboszlai at right back, stop playing it. It does not work. He is our best midfielder. What happened when he switched it against Forest? Finally, we had a midfielder that was taking on these players, going at the back four. That's what Szoboszlai did, especially in that second half. Stop doing it. We see it. Us as fans, we see what's working, we see what's not working. But the manager, the one man who can change it, it's the same thing. After the Nottingham Forest game, he came out and said a quote about Cody Gakpo, saying something like Cody Gakpo's been unbelievable or something like that. It's like, no, he hasn't. And I'm not saying he should go out in interviews and say, oh, Cody Gakpo's been terrible, he won't play against West Ham. Of course not. No manager should ever say that. But he needs to be dropped. Come on now, people. He didn't do a thing against Nottingham Forest. And it's not just Cody Gakpo, but he hasn't been playing well. It's almost as if he's guaranteed his position in that first 11. How is that possible? If we get Champions League and he stays, we are doomed next season. The guy has no identity and plays the most boring style in the top 10. And he's too arrogant to accept he's wrong. Yep, time will tell. We'll have to see what happens, people. Look, as I keep saying, they're not getting rid of him, so we'll have to just see what the end of the season brings. Look, if they do miss out on the Champions League, I think he will go. Because the amount of investment, the fact that we're Premier League champions, you cannot miss out on Champions League, especially when it's the top 5. That's just not good enough. You can't do that. Even in a transition season, there's enough quality in that squad. The squad is thin, we get it, but there is enough quality to get into the top 5. We're not even talking top 3. We're not talking top 4. We're talking top 5. So he has to get into the Champions League to save his job. Donny says Gomez seems comfortable getting forward and he's doing great when called upon. I said it before, people. I said it before about Joe Gomez. My favourite Liverpool player. Just because the man is a legend. He's the most underrated player Liverpool have had. He can play any position. Never complains about not playing. He's been so unlucky with injuries. Always does a job for you when he comes off the bench. I thought he was a really good performance as well the other day. Chris says I would rather win the league than the Champions League. I think that's pretty much every Liverpool fan. I would say it's definitely me anyway. The league every single season. I've always said it's all about the Premier League. The Champions League is kind of a bonus. but it's all about the Premier League for me. You know, we haven't won it enough, people. We haven't. We've won it twice in the last 6 years. We should be dominating this league. This is Liverpool Football Club. Tommy C says United are the best team in Europe at the minute, according to their fans. Anyway, yeah. Not going on last night. Look, it's all about results at this stage of the season, but my God, United are terrible. Well, it was a terrible game. I mean, Everton are just embarrassing. This new stadium could get them relegated. Not this season, but eventually. It's just modern. You know, there's no real atmosphere at it. It's not intimidating. That's the word I'm looking for. You know, I used to hate when Liverpool went to Goodison Park. Used to hate it. Every game was difficult. Liverpool had a good record there, but every game you're thinking, oh, here we go. We have to go to Everton. But this new stadium, it's not intimidating. Tommy says, I think this Carrick run has Ollie vibes about it. I tell you, I was watching a bit of Mark Goldbridge today. He was not impressed with Man United at all last night. To be fair to him, you know, United fans, of course, they're on a great run. What is it now? Is it 5 wins out of 6, whatever it is? But he was not impressed with them. I don't think watching that game, I don't see how you could be impressed with them. But it is all about results at this stage of the season. But I think it's just an advertisement for the Premier League, how poor it is. I think it's absolutely woeful. Joe says, who is the best at the moment anyways? Bayern maybe. Who's the best in Europe at the moment? It's a good question. It's a good question. I keep saying to people, football nowadays, it's finished. The best in Europe. Look, I think you still can't write off PSG. They'll probably get through to the last 16. This time last season was when they really started to play well. I don't trust Bayern Munich. I've said it so many times. I don't trust Vincent Kompany. I don't trust Bayern Munich. They're playing no one every single weekend. I think Liverpool could beat them over 2 legs. I really do. Maybe in the final, if we got to the final against Bayern, you're talking dodgy because they have got big game players in their team. But over 2 legs, I definitely think Liverpool could beat anybody in Europe. Carlos is in the chat. I've seen it today, Carlos. 90 million. I mean, I'm hoping it's not true. I've seen a few people on social media have had it up, but I hope it's not. He's not good enough for Liverpool. He's not good enough to be spending 90 million anyway. Live score, they tweeted it earlier, but no, he's a squad player. I think the fact that he supported Liverpool, I think people are reading way too much into that. Just because you support Liverpool doesn't mean you're good enough to play for them. Like, let's be honest, people. He's not good enough for me. Liza John says, when it comes to the knockout stages, the top clubs will up their game. This is PSG. This is PSG, 100%. Same as last season. I mean, looking at them last season, they very nearly get knocked out in the league phase. They end up winning it. So yeah, 100%. This nonsense of finishing top, Arsenal are the best team in Europe because they're top of the Champions League. We were top of the Champions League last season. It didn't work out for us, did it? We could barely beat Forest. Bayern is not easy. No, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I just think the Champions League seems to suit us this season. The Premier League, we're not able for the Premier League, people. It's too physical. We can't cope with counter-attacks. I'd be really worried against Bayern in a one-off game. But over 2 legs, I think Liverpool could beat them. I really do. I see Vic is in the chat. This is a good comment. Gordon is a poor man's Harvey Elliott. I would rather Harvey Elliott come back than get Antony Gordon. I really would. As I said earlier, if you get Antony Gordon for maybe 25, 30 million, okay, not bad as a squad player, but you're signing a player for 90 million. Like, that's not going to happen, people. Dave was watching a few of your old shorts on YouTube today. The one about giving Eric Ten Hag a new contract was so funny. Yeah, was that after the Spurs game? They lost 3-0, I think. Yeah, I used to do a lot of YouTube shorts, but I gave up on them. Well, the draw's on Friday. Nice. Atletico or Galatasaray? Is you no Juventus are gone, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah, Galatasaray beat Juventus. So it's Atletico or Galatasaray, people. What do you think? I have a feeling it's going to be Atletico. And the likes of Arsenal and Man City will probably get Doncaster Rovers and Shrewsbury Town, and Liverpool will get Atletico Madrid. I think it'll definitely be Atletico. How were Karabag even in the Champions League, yeah? See, it's this new league phase. They thought, oh no, it's going to be brilliant. It's going to be unbelievable. It's been terrible. This new league phase at the Champions League. Crap. Carla still believes City will win the league. I don't know. Yeah, look, I mean, Arsenal, you never know with them. You never know. It's the manager. For me, it's Arteta. But there's just something about City. I don't trust them either. I don't trust them. I mean, City have the better forwards. There's no question about it. Arsenal probably have the better back line. Midfield, I think is fairly even. Arsenal definitely have the better defence. I think City have the better goalkeeper. City have the better, as I said, the better attackers. I still think it's a tough one to call. I really do. Okay, Hax says, I want City to win it, then get hit with the 115 charges and end up in Division 2. Yeah. Remember what I said, people. Remember about the 115. They will be announced just before the World Cup. Pep Guardiola will leave at the end of the season. They'll be announced just before the World Cup. All the journalists, everybody. Oh my God, Man City were found, let's say they're found guilty. They're found guilty. And next minute is, oh wait, no, we have to talk about the World Cup now. England are playing. Let's get back to the World Cup. City will get a new manager. No point in talking to me, lads. I wasn't here. And it'll die down. They'll get a fine. And that'll be it. Eliza John says, that's the thing with City. They can't be trusted. Just about go over the line versus Newcastle next up away to Leeds. I wasn't impressed with them. I really wasn't. Look, it's about winning. This stage of the season is just about winning. Get the 3 points. That's it. And City did. And the thing that's in City's favour at the moment is the fixtures. I think the next 3 games, 3 out of the next 4 maybe, they play before Arsenal. So they have a chance to put real pressure on them. But I just don't, I always feel like there's a dodgy result there. Because you can score goals against them. Newcastle should have had 2 goals against City the other day. So I just don't trust them. I really don't. But I definitely don't trust Arteta. I was listening to Gary Neville there after the game on, I think it was the game on Sunday. Seen a bit of it on YouTube. He was saying that Arsenal will go to the Etihad and they will go and win. It's like, have you not watched Mikel Arteta this season? Have you not watched him in previous seasons? If it's anywhere close, that man will go to the Etihad and he will park the bus. If you said to him, right, Miguel, go to the Etihad, you win the game, and you will win the Premier League. He'd prefer a draw. He'd prefer 0-0. I couldn't believe the space Gyökeres was given by Spurs. This is the thing about Arsenal as well, people, right? Look, it was a really impressive win from Arsenal. Fair play to them. I mean, Declan Rice was doing his the world-class impression there in midfield. Honestly, people. Another average performance from him. But Spurs are absolutely woeful. They are woeful. If there wasn't the Spurs-Arsenal rivalry, I don't think a lot would have been made of that performance. A lot of people are kind of saying, wow, what a performance from Arsenal. To go to Spurs and win. Spurs are terrible people. They're shocking. Tommy says, I want Arsenal beating Chelsea at the weekend. Did you see Chelsea's next few fixtures? Yeah, they're tough. They really are. And Liverpool's are very winnable. So, I mean, do we actually want Arsenal to win? Of course we do. When it comes to Liverpool, yeah. So we really want City to beat Leeds. So that if Arsenal win, it doesn't really matter. But no, absolutely, Tommy, 100%. We want Chelsea to drop points. You know, it'll be embarrassing if Man United finish above us, but as long as we get top 5, we're in the Champions League, and that's all that matters. One jukebox says, I would love Aston Villa to really put a run together and win it. I don't think they will, but that would be perfect if Liverpool can't win it. Yeah, I think everybody would be the same. You know, I mean, if Aston Villa were to win the league, Arsenal miss out again, that would be such a big story. But no, I think Aston Villa are getting dragged into a top 4 race now. Are they only 3 points off United? I mean, if Liverpool, the next fixtures Liverpool have, let me get them up here. Very winnable, people. Very, very winnable. Right, West Ham on Saturday. Then we've got Wolves, obviously, in the FA Cup. We've Wolves away in the league as well. Spurs at home. Brighton away will be tough. Fulham at home. And then Everton away. Now, Everton's home form is absolutely terrible. But people, I'm looking at those fixtures. I mean, every one of them is winnable. Every one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of 6 games, you have to be looking at least 4 wins. At least. Maybe a draw at Brighton. And maybe a draw against Everton. But you have to win. Definitely win the home games anyway. And you cannot lose to Wolves in the league. The FA Cup is different. Anything can happen. He might rotate. He might change players, whatever. But you cannot lose to Wolves in that Premier League. You just can't. Yeah, they're not bad, no, lads. They're not bad at all. Who have we got after that? Are they tough after that? That's how close we are to the end of the season. Look at this. So we've Crystal Palace. Then we have the really tough ones. And this is the problem we have. Crystal Palace, look, Crystal Palace are concentrating. Yeah, they're still in Europe, aren't they? Or are they? Anyway, their manager is gone. They're not getting relegated, so their season is almost over. Then we go to Man United, we play Chelsea, and we go to Villa. It's a tough end to the season, people. It really is. That's why we have to win those fixtures. These are the fixtures. Win these games, and then if we were to get a draw against United, draw against Chelsea, I think that would do it. But if we drop points in these games, we're in trouble. Liverpool chat says we need to beat Palace at least once. Yeah, I mean, we've lost we've played them about 50 times this season. We've lost every single one. We've lost about 10-0 every fucking game. What did they beat us in the? They beat us in the Community Shield. They beat us at Sellers Park. They beat us at Anfield in the Cup. Honestly, people, talk about a bogey team. Yeah, that's a good point from Tommy. The goal difference. I was looking at the goal difference. I mean, with the amount of firepower Liverpool have and they can't score. Our goal difference is +7. United's is +11. Chelsea's is +17. So I doubt we're going to catch Chelsea. Well, unless they drop points, and then obviously the goal difference will go down. But look, at the end of the day, whatever goal difference it is. We have to start winning again. Or at least go on a decent run. United doing the double would be disgusting. I may hide for a while. Considering they finished, what, 15th last season? But I'll always remember last season, at the end of it, when they lost the Europa League. And Gary Neville making that video, staring right down the camera. Manchester United are running out of money. Okay, they spent 200 million on a brand new front three. Yeah. Are running that Jim Radcliffe boy every time. Just get Gary Neville in there. He'll believe everything. Like, come on, people. Man United are running out of money. And then they spend 200 million on a brand new front three, and they get a brand new goalkeeper. And the goalkeeper's starting to worry me, people. It really is. Look, Michael Carrick, is he the right man for the job? Who knows? We'll have to see. But unfortunately, Manchester United have solved their goalkeeping problems. I miss Andre Onana. Why did they do that to us? Why did they get rid of him? I mean, he was doing a good job. Like, what's the problem? He was pure entertainment. But no, they had to ruin it and get rid of him. So, what's his name? Lamens. I think he's a good player. I really do. Which is disappointing. Inter Milan are playing Bodo Glimt. They'll hardly turn it around, will they? This is what I'm talking about, people. Italian football is finished. Everyone misses Onana. Comedy gold. He was so good. I mean, he was such a bad goalkeeper. And I remember when they signed him. Because they said he was good with his feet. The man couldn't pass the ball. I remember watching highlights of him thinking, this man is not good. And even when they showed his best clips, I was like, this is not great. And you could see it straight away. It was just brilliant. Dave is in the chat. He says, you must be bored tonight if you're streaming. I suppose it stops you singing. How dare you? How dare you? I am a gifted singer. I have the guitar right there. I'll start a concert, people. Tommy says he's going to see Stevie in Galway Thursday week. The legend. Stevie G. What a player. Let's get the likes up, everybody. Remember, 100 likes is the target. This is what I'm talking about as well about the Premier League, people. I mean, Steven Gerrard, what a player. Declan Rice is supposed to be world class. Wow. Even Dominic Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai is a way better player than Declan Rice, but he's nowhere near Stevie G. Nowhere near him. Dave says Onana was comedy gold. How I miss him and Ten Hag. Yeah, it was good times. Really good times. I mean, the 7-0 against Ten Hag, people. The 7-0. And I don't even think Liverpool played that well that night. I mean, we had 8 shots on target and we scored 7 goals. It was one of them games. Everything just went in for them. I mean, 7-0. We beat Man United 7-0. That is just... It's not spoken about enough. It really isn't. Eliza John says Rice is a big head, can't stand him. See, this is the English media. The English media have put him up on a pedestal. I mean, Arsenal fans saying he's going to win the Ballon d'Or. I mean, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's not a bad player. I'm not saying he's average or anything like that. But he is nowhere near as good as they think he is. And I actually think, other than maybe, let's say, the first, I don't know, off the top of my head, maybe first 10 games this season, he's been average. He's been average. I mean, I've never watched an Arsenal game and after it said, wow, Declan Rice was on another planet. He was the best player on the pitch. I don't get it. No, he's world class at corners. He really is. I mean, his delivery from set pieces is out of this world. But his overall game, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Maybe I don't watch him enough. I don't know. Dave says you can still get the 7-0 on fans' reaction on YouTube. It's still worth a good chuckle even years later. That was a great day, people. It really was. When I think it was the fourth or fifth goal went in, I started laughing. I wasn't celebrating. I was laughing. I was like, is this actually real? I mean, it was crazy. It really was. Oh, it's a good one from Vinny. David Batty. Declan David Batty Rice. Yeah, it's not a bad show. David Batty was a madman. Speaking of those fan reaction videos on YouTube, as Dave said, I actually made the fan reaction TV channel the other day. Which was mad. I couldn't believe it. Because that is an unbelievable channel. It really is. So yeah, I was on it the other day. Liverpool chat says, would they glaze Declan Rice as much if he played for Ireland still? I don't think so. No, 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 no. Not a hope. It's the English media. Not a hope. If he was Irish, like Roy Keane was world class when he played for Manchester United. He was world class, people. That man never got the praise from the English media. No, he was great. Obviously he was. But the way to go on about Declan Rice, I don't get it anyway. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's a great player. It just shows you how poor in my opinion, it all is. It's the same with Bukayo Saka. I don't get it. Again, decent, not great. That's a penalty. No. Inter Milan is on here. 3-1 down. I mean, if they're venting about them, they will turn it around. I think anyway. Newcastle are still 2-0. Who scored for them? Tonali. What team did he pick? Look at the team that Eddie Howe picked. Is he mad, is he? Tonali. Joe Linton. Trippier. Dan Burn. Big Dan Burn. That's a strong team. It's already true. Vinny says same with Odegaard. Bit overrated. To be fair, this season, I think they're starting to realise Odegaard is not good. He is not good. I mean, last season, I'd say the last 2 seasons or 2 years, all of last season, and said half of this season, so we'll say a season and a half, he has been terrible. He really has. I don't get it with him either. Dave says Wayne Rooney for me was the most overrated player. He was no Ronaldo, but they went on like he was. You think he was overrated? No, I'm going to have to disagree with you there. I thought Wayne Rooney was some player. I thought you had everything. Some goal scorer as well. Yeah, I thought Rooney was good now. Remember when he made his debut? Some player he was. No, I don't think he was overrated. I mean, they put him out wide at United, didn't they? A lot of times. Wasn't Tevez up front? And they put Rooney out wide. Zubamendi is the player keeping Rice above water. What do you think about Zubamendi, people? He was supposed to be a Liverpool player. Did we miss out or what? I've seen bits of him this season, obviously. But again, a decent player. You know, he's not doing anything really outstanding, but yeah, a decent player. The man could have had a Premier League medal in his back pocket already, but he decided to wait for Arsenal. Dave says he had everything, a beer gut and 30 fags a day, model professional. Oh no, one thing you wouldn't say about Rooney was he was a model professional, but I just thought the man was gifted. He really was. Some player. But yeah, if he probably had looked after himself a bit better. But then you look at it, I mean, like he did have, as Liza Jan says, 253 goals and 559 games for United. Like, that's unreal. When was it that was it the Euro 2000 was it 2004? Where he really burst onto the scene like Micah Richards. I mean, he was unbelievable in that tournament. See, the thing about Rooney early in his career as well, whenever he got the ball, you were expecting something to happen. And it just seems like nowadays, that's gone. That is just gone out with these players, especially the wide players. You get the ball out wide, what do they do? Cody Gakpo, to cut back inside or to play it to the fullback. Yeah, 2004. Yeah, that was some tournament from him. Yeah, he got injured, didn't he? But that's when he really burst onto the scene. And did he join United, or was he already there? Did he join United in 2003, no? Or was he still at Everton? Oh, I forget now. We're going back now, people. 22 years. No, I think he was still. Was he still at Everton? Yeah, Liverpool chat is spot on here. People think if you don't score these days, you're a crap. It's a shame. It's all about stats nowadays. It drives me up the wall. Oh, but look at his stats. Never mind about his stats. Look at the way he plays. Like, does anybody need to look at the likes of, say, Steven Gerrard's stats to know he was a world-class player? Nobody does. Vinny says Salah has 251 goals in 425 games and 119 assists so far. People, we won't see the likes of him again. Mo Salah, absolutely phenomenal. What a player, and he's not a striker. Playing out wide. Like, you're never going to see a player hit those numbers again. We're never going to replace him. And you can see it this season. The team is struggling. And the Mo Salah of last season is not playing. It's that simple. And you can see, were we a bit over-reliant on him last season? Probably. But he was on fire last season. He really was. Tommy says, people still reckon Hazard is better than Salah. No, not for me. People forget, right, Hazard, he played in a different position, obviously. More of a number 10. But some of the greatest performances that Hazard had, I mean, Salah has them as well. He really does. No, Hazard was a great player at Chelsea. He really was. Dave says stats are the most misleading thing. Some of our stats have been great this season and we're playing awful. Well, I remember during the was it during the defeats, like 9 defeats in 12. Imagine we lost 9 out of 12. But at the start of the season or something, Cody Gakpo had, I mean, his stats were unbelievable. Unbelievable. Vinny says, never mind overrated. I think Salah is a bit underrated. Vinny, this season proves it. This season proves it. When Salah doesn't play well, we have absolutely no goals in the front line, no assists. We're not creating anything. When he plays well, everyone's on fire. That can't be just a coincidence now. But I do think he leaves this summer. What do you reckon? Is he going to go? I think he will leave. I think it's probably time for him to go as well. But the man will leave an absolute legend. And we'll never see the likes of him again. Salah should have won a Ballon d'Or. 100%. I think this 2022. Remember when he scored that goal against Man City? I mean, that's world class, people. That is world class. There's not many players who would be able to score that goal. He never got the credit. And even the stats people won't give him credit. His stats are amazing. And what drives me mad is, yes, there is a lot of games where Salah was not in the game and then all of a sudden he has a goal. But there's so many games where he was the best player on the pitch. And it's almost if they ignore that. Oh, Salah was just scoring tap-ins and people, come on now. Half time already. Eliza John says 9 Premier League games in a row without a goal proves he's over the hill. Well, as I say, I'm not about stats, but for me, it's more so the fact that he's not impacting the games at all. I don't mind the player not scoring if they're doing something, if they're creating something, if they're beating their man, or just impacting the game. He's not doing anything. He's not doing a thing, people, and that is the big worry. For me, it's not about stats because the man could have 9 penalties in the last 9 games. And all of a sudden you're looking at, wow, he scored 9 goals in 9 games. So stats are not important for me. But he's not impacting the game. He's not taking on his fullback. He's not beating anybody. And even his passing is so poor. It really is. But it's a shame. The man is a legend. And I think he will probably leave in the summer. But what a player. We'll never see the likes of him again, in my opinion. We were so fortunate. Because when he signed, nobody expected him to be as good as he was. Nobody. His first season, people were kind of saying, well, if he gets 12 to 15 goals, that's not bad. That's not bad. Others were saying, Why are Liverpool signing him? Flopped at Chelsea. What's he going to do? The season he had, it was absolutely unbelievable. And it wasn't a one-off. After that season, then it was, oh no, Salah's not going to have that season again next year. No, that's not going to happen. That was one season wonder. I mean, it's a one season wonder every season for the last, what is it now? 8 years? Well, you can't count this season, I suppose, but what was it, 7 years in a row? Something like that. Tommy says he can't beat a man anymore. Either can Gakpo. We need wingers with pace so bad in the summer. Yeah, I mean, you look at Rio Engamoa. What a difference he made when he came on. And Joe Gomez, I said it earlier in the stream, for the chance that Hugo missed, Joe Gomez made a run, and it's a simple pass for Rio. Just play him in, and Joe Gomez could get the cross in. And he said no. He held on to the ball. He beat the man. He put in a brilliant cross. That's what you need. You need wingers that are going to keep defenders guessing. Can't have it too easy. And when everything is in front of the defenders, that's when it's easy for them. Rio was taking them on. So I would love to see him start against West Ham, because Arne Slot has to start rewarding players as well for good performances. And he didn't do it earlier in the season with Chiesa. And he waited too long. Now, Chiesa did not prove him wrong when he got a start. Didn't play well. But there was games there where Chiesa would come off the bench, he'd score, he'd get an assist, and he still wasn't starting. Rio Engamoa against Newcastle, came off the bench, gets the goal. Didn't start. Now, here we go again. Against Nottingham Forest, we did not do a thing. Did not do a thing in the forward areas. Gets Rio on, all of a sudden, he creates so many things. He has to start people. It's not as if we're playing Man United at Old Trafford or Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. We're at home against West Ham, who are fighting relegation. It's a perfect chance for him. If it doesn't work out, take him off. Okay, you could say, no, he's still young. We'll ease him in. Put him in there. Put him in and let's see what happens. Only players we have in the squad now is Rio and Frimpong. Yeah, Frimpong is starting to prove me wrong as well. Unfortunately, he's been injured so much this season. But there's something different about them. We need that. We need that, because that's the thing about Sadio Mane. That was the thing about Luis Diaz. Whenever they got the ball, that feeling when you see a player like that get the ball and they just have the fullback in front of them. You're saying, right, take him on. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to happen. He's going to take him on, he's going to beat him, he's going to create something, he's going to go to the byline. And it's just so predictable with Cody Gakpo and Salah this season. It really is. And it's so frustrating to watch. And it has to be from the manager, because Cody Gakpo's a one-trick pony. He's getting a lot of stick online as well. He's not playing well, people. But the manager needs to take him out. It's the same thing. So I don't understand it. You wonder, is the manager telling him, cut back inside? You're not cutting in enough. I don't know. I'd be telling him the opposite. Go on the outside. But I don't know. Yeah, let's get the likes up, everybody. Subscribe if you're new. Really appreciate it. Pace is everything in this league, especially against a low block. Yeah, pace and quick passing. And Liverpool have neither. Our bench is terrible. Yeah, I said it earlier in the stream. I'm hoping this summer is about strengthening the squad. We do need pace out wide, absolutely. But for me, it has to be about the squad. Get proper players on that bench. The money that we spent last summer, I don't see us spending that money this summer. But we don't need to. Bring in 4 or 5 players. 20, 25 million. That are just strong from the bench. They know the role. Like Shaqiri. Shaqiri, I think, is a perfect example. How much did Shaqiri cost us? Was it 15 million? From Stoke? Everybody's saying Shaqiri from Stoke. Decent player, okay. But Shaqiri knew what his role was at that club. He was on the bench. He'd play the odd cup game, maybe the odd league game, but he knew his role. And when he would come on, we knew the quality he had. So for me, you don't need to be spending 60, 70 million on squad players. You just don't. But Liverpool need to strengthen that bench because the bench against Forest. I mean, it's ironic we say that because Rio, who was on the bench, he was the one who made the difference. But you know what I mean. And there's one thing I don't agree with. Jamie Carragher said it on Monday Night Football, I think, or just after the Nottingham Forest game. He said Arne Slot got a substitution spot on. He didn't. He went like for like. He brought on Robertson for Kirkes. He brought on Chiesa for Salah, Rio for Gakpo, and I can't remember the other one. But it was like for like. It was a moment of genius from Rio Ngamoa that created that chance for Hugo Ekitike. And he created, I think he had a hand to play in the throw-in that led to the goal. So, no, I don't think his subs were spot on or anything. It was like for like. He didn't change anything. Big Shaq was a very good player. Should have played more. Yeah, it was a great signing, people. It really was. Was it 15 million we signed him for? We need to strengthen our defence. Absolutely. We'll see what happens with centre halves. I think Kanate. I want to actually talk about Kanate as well, people, because I thought he was excellent. I really did. Anybody see the video of him? I don't know if I can I show this on this. I don't know what way it works on when you're live streaming. Anyway, he done a cartwheel when McAllister scored. When he scored the first goal. The man must have been devastated when it was disallowed. But yeah, I think Kanate gets a new contract. And I said this about Evo. I said it about him. When he plays well, no problems. No problems whatsoever. Um, and I thought he was the best player on the pitch for Liverpool in the first half. Second half he was solid as well. Forest didn't really create a lot. But when he plays well, he's one of the best. I've no worries about him at all. And obviously he had a lot of issues off the field. He went through a tough time. But if we can see the best of Kanate, last season's Kanate, I'd have no problem with him signing a 5-year deal. No problem whatsoever. But are we going to see that consistently with Kanate now? Because he has been poor this season. But you never know. It could have been just what was happening off field. So, but I think he's been excellent since he came back into the team. So fair play to him. £13.5 million for Big Shaq. That was some signing, people. It really was. The 2 goals he scored against Man United. That ended Jose Mourinho's Man United career. No, it was a brilliant signing. It really was. We need more like that. That know exactly what their role is. Okay, I'm going here, I'm going to be a squad player. And that's it. He got some crackers in his career, Big Shaq. Trying to think of the other goals he scored for Liverpool. I mean, he scored some. He did score a fair few for us. Now you're talking. Big Shaq's assist to Genie against Barca. What a cross that was. And the pre-assist from Milner. Yeah. I mean, that team, people. That team. at this. This was it. The lineup. Look at this for a lineup. Alisson in goal. Robertson, Van Dijk, Matip, Trent, Milner, Fabinho, Henderson, Mane, Origi, and Shaqiri. Big Shaq. I mean, people, how did we win that game 4-0? I mean, seriously, look at Barcelona's midfield. Coutinho, Rakitic, Busquets, Vidal, Suarez, and Messi. How did we win that game 4-0? I mean, what a night that was. What an absolute night that was. Divock Origi, what a legend. Who does Origi play for now? I'd bring him back. Bring him back, boys. Put him on the bench. Divock Origi, who does he play for now? Still says here he's Nottingham Forest. Has he got a club? Yeah, I'm trying to find it here. It just says Nottingham Forest. He has no club. That's not right. How old is he? He's 30. Ah, lads, bring him home. Rebels may start a campaign here now. Carabao goal. Can't believe Divock, the great Divock Origi. And Origi's another example. You know, squad player. Divock, he knew his role. He knew he wasn't getting in over that front three. He knew his role. He was going to play a certain amount of games, come off the bench. And he was an impact player, people. He really was. He scored some really important goals for this club. I think Kanate will stay. I love his reaction after the goal. Yeah, I think he will stay as well. I really do. And as I say, look, if he plays well, I've no problem with him staying. I think he's a very good player when he plays well. It's just at times when he doesn't play well, he looks terrible. But he's been very good since he came back into the squad. Origi was the super sub, the best. Absolutely love Divock Origi. Divock Origi. The goal he scored against Wolves. Away. Came off the bench. Salah set it up. Remember that one? 2021-22 season. After the game, he was asked, what did Jurgen Klopp say to you? Klopp said to him, go out there and beat Divock Origi. I mean, people, come on, like, that's man management. I didn't read it myself, but James Milner, when he wrote his book, he dedicated a whole chapter to Divock Origi. One of a kind, people. Seemingly, yeah, the most laid back man you'll ever meet. Tommy says he could have been a much better player. Very lazy at times. I don't think he was lazy. I just think that was his style. But when you think about it, he scored some big goals for this club, people. He really did. I mean, the goal against Tottenham. That was some finish too. It really was. I mean, when you think about that 2019 Champions League win, the semi-final, he scores two of the biggest goals in Liverpool's history. And then he scores the goal to basically win it in the final. What a player. Then he says the Everton header. Yeah. The one where he goes, picks out the ball to try to run back to the halfway line. His head was gone. Liverpool chat agrees. Favourite Rigi goal was the 1-0 against Everton after T-Rex arm tried to get the ball from the top of the net. Yeah. I mean, Jordan Pickford, does he get an assist for that? He should. No, he had some big moments. He really did. And that's, yeah, as I said, that was my point I'm making about the squad. Shaqiri, Origi to come off the bench. James Milner at times to come off the bench. You know, these are proper squad players. We don't have them. You know, we have to work on the squad in the summer. We have to. Then I remember when, let me get this one up for you. Divock Origi. Right, this one here, people. This game. The score there. This was the 5-0, people. Look at the midfield. Naby Keita, Jordan Henderson, James Milner. People. Look at the front three. Mo Salah, Firmino, Diogo Jota. May he rest in peace. Sadio Mane didn't even play that game. Fabinho didn't play that game. Look at the bench. Look at the bench. Sadio Mane, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Curtis Jones, Minamino, Origi. People, that's a bench. That is a bench. Trent, Konate, Virgil, Robbo. That midfield, people, went to Old Trafford and won 5-0. Mo with the hat-trick magic. What a game that was. Yeah, Genie's out in Saudi, isn't he? Yeah. Yeah, this is a good show. Oxlade-Chamberlain was always an outstanding option too when fit. Felt so sorry for the Ox when he got injured against Roma. He was just starting to get going, wasn't he? His Liverpool career was really starting, and all of a sudden he's out for a year. And he never really got back to being, you know, the player he was. In that season, we won 5-0 against United. He was starting to get back to it, but he never really got there. But yeah, I always liked him. He's at Celtic now. Wish him the best. Hopefully he wins the league up there. Remember Ronaldo? Oh, I do. Oh, I do. The funniest part of that wasn't the Curtis Jones incident. It was the fact that Ronaldo scored and it was offside. Because you know for a fact, he would have walked away from that game thinking, oh no, I'm sure. It was everybody else I scored. It was offside, Ronaldo. You lost 5-0. When we go to Old Trafford, people, we have to... Okay, Ten Hag, 7-0. Ollie, 5-0. Michael Carrick, he has to be on the end of something. We didn't get Ruben Amorim. We have to get Michael Carrick. Even a 3-0. The Ox against City was one of his best games. Yeah, he really was. He was starting to find his feet and then he got injured. Christine says he will do well at Celtic, already on their score sheet. Yeah, last minute winner in his first game. No, I was always a fan of Oxlade-Chamberlain. And I remember when we signed him. I remember a friend of mine, an Arsenal fan, I said to him, signing Oxlade-Chamberlain. He started laughing. He said, Arsene Wenger is a genius. I said, okay. I think we had the last laugh. He won everything. Imagine United went the full decade of the 70s winning just one trophy. Well, they got relegated, didn't they? Another thing that isn't spoken about enough. Man United getting relegated only, what, 6 years after they won the European Cup? Jeez, Inter Milan are losing, are they? They are. Bodo Glimt are going through. Wow. That's some shock. That's crazy stuff. That's embarrassing from Inter Milan now. Who can get them now in the last 16? Because obviously it's not Liverpool. We're going to get Atletico Madrid or Galatasaray. Yeah. Guarantee it'll be Arsenal. Yeah, to beat Man City. Is it their league season is over though, is it? Or is it somebody else? Was it Carabao? No. I remember reading one of their seasons is already over. They've played fuck all games since the new year. Same with the Irish League. That's why teams in Ireland. It makes no sense to me. The Irish League is only back on there in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, it's just starting. Photo season is just starting. That could be a good thing for them actually. But who could get them in the last 16 now? Actually, who could Arsenal get? Who could City get? Anyone notice the empty seats at City versus Newcastle? That's why I want City to win the league. Nobody cares. If Arsenal win the league, we'll never hear the end of it. City win the league? Okay. On to the World Cup. On to next season. Dundalk and Drogheda caused controversy. They did indeed. They ruined the pitch. The Flares. The big upset though. How's the other games going? It's 3-2 to Newcastle. Let me get this up actually. Who could Arsenal get? Let's see. Right. Atalanta, Bayer Leverkusen, Dortmund, Olympiacos. That's who Arsenal could get. So Leverkusen are 2-0 up against Olympiacos, so they're going through. And Dortmund are 2-0 up against Atalanta, so that's not too bad for them. Brez is in the chat. He asks, do you think Spurs will actually get relegated? Would be serious banter. No, I don't. I don't. But I tell you one thing, they're absolutely woeful. They're one of the worst teams I've ever seen. But I don't think they will. Realistically, there's only really one position. You've got Nottingham Forest, West Ham and Spurs. Burnley and Wolves are gone. I don't think they will. But I do think there is, unfortunately, because Liverpool are playing them on Saturday, I think there is something about West Ham. I think West Ham could get out of it. But I'm going to say Nottingham Forest go down. But Spurs are just terrible people. They are absolutely shocking. They're embarrassingly bad now. Yeah. Finney says Spurs will replay last season 17th because the other three teams are so bad. This is what has been saving Everton for years. You know, remember the season with Frank Lampard when they had the pitch invasion after they stayed up? And at the start of that season, they thought they were going to be challenging for Europe. Pitch invasion. Okay. But this is what has been keeping Everton up for years. Absolute years. There's always been three teams worse than them. Always. And I think this season is the same when it comes to Spurs. But they're going to have to start winning because if you get kind of... Look, there's enough of a gap at the moment. But if they were to ever find themselves in the bottom three with, say, 7-8 games to go, I mean, you never know, but no, I don't think they will. But then you look at Nottingham Forest the other day. They should have been 2-0 up against Liverpool. They should have been. Or at least 1-0 up anyway. Only for Alisson. So then you look at it and you think if they can play like that against other teams, they should get a couple of wins. West Ham, I think will stay up. But yeah, I have a feeling that Spurs are just going to be terrible, but the other teams are going to be worse. Any word on the fitness of Wirtz and Frimpong? Wirtz should be okay for Saturday. Not sure about Frimpong. But I heard that Wirtz should be okay. I think he was taken off precaution or didn't start because of that. But we'll see. He might put him on the bench just to be sure, but hopefully he's okay because we don't need another injury. I hate to say it, but Spurs have had a ridiculous amount of injuries to their best players. Someone needs to change the fitness, guys. People... it's the same with Liverpool, right? Now, look, Alexander Isak was unlucky. Conor Bradley was unlucky. But why is Conor Bradley so injury prone? The likes of Naby Keita, why is he so injury prone? Thiago, why was he so injury prone? What is it with certain players? Frimpong this season. What's going on there, like? Why are we so... What's with all these muscle injuries? There's something going on with the training. You know, I said it before, you look at Mo Salah. Hasn't an ounce of fat on him. But he's not injury prone. He doesn't get injured. But there's other players who can't have the same fitness program as a Mo Salah because he is going to get injured. You can't be training these players the same. You just can't. There's something not right. You know, if... Say, take Thiago. I know he had a bad hip and everything, but let's just say Thiago. Even if Thiago only trained 1 day a week, then that's enough for him. Play him on a Saturday. I just don't get it. Obviously, look, I'm not qualified. I'm just saying. But how is it that every club is having so many muscle injuries? I don't know. I think something has to be done. Is it their diet? Because you see the players years ago, in the 80s, steak and chips before every game. Never got muscle injuries. Johnny says we need to look at our fitness team and the coaching. We need to ring the changes in the summer. Definitely with the fitness. But Jurgen Klopp had the same problems. Fitness or the muscle injuries that drive me up the wall. Remember Thiago missed the final, the Carabao Cup final. He got injured in the warm-up. Wirtz the other day, injured in a warm-up. How can you get injured in a warm-up, people? How is that possible? These are elite athletes. There's something not right. To me, there's just something not right. The way that they're training, the way they're eating. I don't know what it is. I think because they're they have an ounce of fat on them. I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good at all. You know, you see how fast the game, I know it's boring, don't get me wrong, it's slow. But you see these players now, they're proper athletes. And the amount of injuries is going up. Yeah, injured in a warm-up, in a final, that's outrageous. Yeah, against, was the, yeah, Carabao Cup final, against Chelsea. The man was in tears. How are you getting injured in a warm-up? There's something not right. Inter Milan have hit the posts. Inter Milan have, yeah, hit the posts. It drives me up the wall. Daniel Sturridge. Remember Daniel Sturridge? I mean, honestly, that man. You know, everybody at the club told him, you can play. Nothing wrong with you. You can play. Don't feel 100%. Oh, I don't know, people. I remember, was it an interview with one of the players, I think it was Graham Souness or someone, back in the 70s and 80s. They said even if you were injured, the last thing you'd say is, I'm injured. Because if you lost your place, that's it. Whereas now it's like, I tell you, not 100%, not going to play today. I'll play next week. They were like, no, you never admitted it. You never admitted it. I don't know, these players, you have to play through pain as well. Vinny says playing every 3 days with no winter break, 60 odd games. Well, there is a lot of games. And the game is a lot quicker. It is. Because, as I said, these players are professional athletes now. They're not just professional footballers. These are proper athletes. But how is the muscle injury so high, people? The Kewell injury in the Champions League final. Man got subbed, but at the end it was full pelt sprinting to celebrate. Yeah. I remember Harry Kewell at Liverpool. He would always be fit for a final. Always. I honestly, I think a lot of them, they just don't want to play through pain. Remember reading about Luis Suarez. Suarez had to wear a football boot that was a size too big because his ankle was huge. It was swollen. He strapped it up, got a bigger football boot, and he went out and played, and he was man of the match. Play through the pain, lads. You have to play through the pain. More games in the 70s and 80s. Phil Neal went nearly 750 games without missing one. That's serious, people. Salah played almost every game and never injured. He's the ultimate pro, does extra flexibility stuff, eats well, and always wants to play. Yeah. I think a lot of it is mental. I really do. I think a lot of it is the mentality of these players. I'm not 100% fit. Like, there's no way. The amount of games that Salah has played, and consecutive games, and even go back to last season when he was on fire. I mean, Salah has to be injured. He had to be. He was definitely playing through pain. You know, you're never 100%. But there was no way that man was ever not going to play. Unless it was just an obvious injury and he couldn't. But if there was a chance he could play, he was playing. I think it's a mental thing. Inter Milan are 2-0 down now. Wow, that's embarrassing for them. Bodo Glimt for the Champions League. But yeah, hopefully Wirtz is back on Saturday. But Obviously, they didn't want to risk it. If he's back on Saturday, does that even mean he was injured? That means they didn't want to risk it. He felt something. We're not risking it. Okay, you're okay. But I mean, look, obviously, look, it's a risk. He felt something. If they still play, the man could be out for the season. I get all of that. But how is he feeling something in a warm-up? What is going on, people? And when was the last time Liverpool played? Was it 7 days before that? How is this possible? The training. Something's not right with the training. Something's not right with the diet. You know, the likes of Mo Salah, the diet, the training, everything he does, that's perfect for him. He doesn't get injured. But that can't be then the same for, say, the likes of Naby Keita a few years ago. Gets injured just walking into the gym. Something not right. Yeah, any niggle, and many players say they can't play. Yeah, it just drives me mad. It really does. You know, if a hamstring goes, obviously, look, that could be season ending. But this nonsense of, I felt something, I don't want to risk it. And then a week later, you're like, no, you're okay. Well, then you weren't injured in the first place. Oh, people, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to in the morning ring up and say to my boss, I tell you, I can go to work, but I'm not 100%. Not feeling it today. So I'll see you. I'll see you Thursday. Yeah, no bother. Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd work. Martin says, I repeat, I'd rather meet Atletico than Bodo Glimt. Yeah, it's a fair point. It's a fair point. We only beat Inter Milan 1-0 this season. They're 2-0 up with 15 minutes to go. If a player can't play, deduct their week's wages. You won't see too many injuries then. I think it's a good point, people. I think it's mental. I really do. I think it's a mentality from them. You know, wasn't it Michael Owen as well? Remember Michael Owen was at Newcastle? He said that he was so terrified to get injured, he wouldn't even make certain runs. I mean, there you go. Mental. I think these players are the same. Oh, I felt something. I'm not going to chance that. No way. You're paid an absolute fortune. Yeah, it's a good point from Podge. That's why you need competition, yeah? Let these players know. If you're not playing, there's no guarantee you're getting back in. But yeah, the injuries do drive me up the wall. I remember Naby Keita as well. Wasn't an ounce of fat on him. And the man kept suffering with muscle injuries. Then your diet is wrong. Your diet is definitely wrong. There's something not right there. Your body fat is too low. You need to get a couple of burgers. Go to the chippers. It can work for other players, but it didn't work for you. Diet and sleep are so important. Yeah, they really are. That's what I've been trying to do, people. Right, the bright evenings are back. So I'm going to go to the gym now. Get back into the gym. I usually only go at the weekends. I'm going to go at least 3 times a week now. I might start back on Thursday evening. But for me, it was always the sleep. I could stay up after 12 o'clock. I'm up at 7 in the morning. You need to get proper sleep. It's the one thing I always struggle with. Keeping a proper sleep schedule. Need time to recover, people. I'm a proper athlete, you see. But why would a player not want to play? Weird. They're just... I think it's because if they're out for... If they play, say they feel something, hamstring. And if they play it, they're thinking, oh my God, if something goes, I'm out for the season. Like, you can't think like that. You have to play through the pain. Christine says they have nutritionists and dietitians at the club, so they should have an excellent diet. There's no doubt about it. They have an excellent diet. But I'm just saying that certain players, I think their body fat is too low. And that's why they're getting muscle injuries. But anyway, just my opinion. I was talking to a man the other day and he told me he goes to the gym 3 times a week. I said, well done, fair play. He replied, but I'm only delivering things. Well, when I'm there, I try to lift some weights. But it's very easy to get lazy, people. It really is. Especially when you're working all day. So I try to go straight after work. The gym is on the way home. I just have to take a different exit off the roundabout. A lot of the times, it's very, very difficult. You're thinking, no, we'll go tomorrow. No, we'll go the next day. I'm going to try and get back into it now because the bright evenings. Liza John says a walk about 25 miles a week. Good to get out. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right, people, I think it's time to go. Thanks very much for joining us. Good old chat. I think we can all agree Antony Gordon is not for Liverpool. The top four, the Premier League is woeful. Let's be honest. But Liverpool have a chance at top four. We have to keep it going. We're playing West Ham on Saturday. I'll be doing a watch along. Hopefully you can all join me. And hopefully we get 3 points. And hopefully Florian Wirtz is over the muscle injury. Honestly, change your diet, man. But thanks very much for joining us, people. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll talk to you all very soon.